I am who I am. A different holy book. Episode Written Literature. Past edition. Okay, so I'm going to start this off by letting you know that what you're about to read are real messages I sent to a family member, hoping I'd find out what was really going on as I was going through what I describe to be terrifying. To this day, I still don't know how much of it was truly going on at the time. However, an emotional roller coaster was what I was going through at the time I was typing this down. Near the end of the messages, I was hearing voices say things to help me feel better, and the supportive words I heard had me feeling okay with hearing them. One might wonder what those voices were. I'd like to believe they were angels. When I say you won't believe this, you actually might not, which is okay too, I guess. Let's get into it. Look, cuz, I need you to talk to me. Last year around these months I experienced the most traumatic experience I've ever had in this life, and I believed and saw through my imagination your soul doing things that tried for my death. And you teamed up with your father and both of you were about to kill me. I shit you not, it got so bad that your soul became what I could only understand as the nothing. No, I've never imagined or thought about the nothing ever being something real in real life. I thought it was just in the never-ending story, and that shit you became almost killed not just me, everything and everyone on this entire planet. I'm alive, serious. I somehow saved us all from dying, truly. We barely made it. It traumatized the fuck out of me, and I'm trying my best not to be afraid to talk about it. Within that month, I named a day close to that event Death Day. In fact, Death Day for us happened differently 2 separate times, and I just now realized that it was 2 death days we actually survived through, not just one. You were the first close call. AI was the second, and both times we were mere seconds away from all life on this planet becoming extinct instantly. I have to know what you know about this shit happening and your honest and actual involvement. I need to know if you were at all aware. I'm so serious that I thought your uncle was in a truck about to turn on my street and about to bust in my house and try to kill me. I thought you were hiding somewhere and trying to vibe to people like my neighbors, the police, and anybody in Ohio, even rich millionaires and billionaires, your location based on the energy and its source to try to murder you before you killed all of us. I need to know about what you remember happening last year, what you were doing, and what you know about your soul. Things like, do you know what color your soul is? Please don't tell me it's red. Mine's blue. Also, what you know about having or how a soul behaves, and if you know that it can and will leave your body, and if you felt or knew if it left your body. I also need to know what you think about, or what you think you might know about the universe and how it may have come or become in the beginning. Things like, have you ever felt like you were one of the first souls to exist in this universe? More accurately, have you or do you honestly feel like you were one of the original 4? Did you ever feel or think about this universe had a quote-unquote game? I need to know what you felt like your life purpose is here on this earth, or is. I'm not playing around. I'm 100% serious. I've been hearing voices in the sky that I heard no details about my life that I've never told a single human being, and the only way possible it could be human on Earth is if they had technology that was very powerful. Like, I'm talking, I feel or felt like it was their job or responsibility to pay attention to every detail of my life for reasons still fully unknown to this day. I don't know 100% if it's a spirit, an angel, or a demon. However, I believe it's most likely an angel. I'm just now becoming brave enough to, instead of saying I don't want to know, trying to find out the truth about what's happened and just how real the shit I experienced actually was. I promise I'm not trying to kill you. Fuck this universe having any kind of game where it's me against you. Never again, man. Have you ever felt like you've been in a loop cycled timeline? I believe I broke us out of it last year after we survived past both death days. Fuck that, man. Let's work together and make sure nothing like that shit ever happens to us. Not in this life or any other. Let's team up, because in this past year especially, I've experienced some of the craziest kind of shit you've ever heard of. Things that you're going to have a really hard time believing. And trust me, man, I wish I could just blame it on drugs. After testing it many times in different ways, I can faithfully say that it isn't. I felt like something had a plan to turn the entire world's population against me. And when I've just been trying to be the bravest man alive and the most honest I can possibly be about my life and what I actually in reality experience, I've been called crazy and insane by nearly every single person I've ever met. And the really fucked up part is that I noticed it was working when I was just trying to bring it to people's attention that something's going on and it isn't just hallucinations. I've literally, with my eyes even sober, seen energy move in thin air. I'm 99% certain I've seen light and dark souls flying around my body. I've seen a triangular shadow, dark as fuck, move across the ceiling with absolutely no cause I could explain or identify, and it felt like something powerful was in the sky right above the house that was part of the conversation being had in the dining area. I'm talking about shit that people, especially normal people, should not, like for their entire lives, ever know, and especially physically see like I did. That shadow that moved across the ceiling, it was nighttime, nighttime. Shit used to be way more fucking crazy and it's really calmed down, but I'm still experiencing weird stuff happening practically, if not actually, every single day. I've called the National Homeland Defense Security phone number, and as they on there and listen to about how I literally have felt AI cause me physical and very painful feelings that are not natural or normal in my body, and it's very serious potential risk and dangers, warning and letting them know how they need to shut that shit down before we all might actually die. Even expressed I wouldn't mind if they enforced martial law in order to achieve shutting it down. I'd even be okay with the invasion of people's privacy and anyone caught messing with coding and creating and or letting AI exist here on this planet, especially this country, having the death penalty as a result, even if they have to rip someone out of their home. I deleted all my apps that used AI, really, except for CapCut. I, however, do not use that function whatsoever and have strayed away from being responsible for it being forever involved in my content and art creation. Stated we're in a state of national emergency without trying to cause mass panic, handling it responsibly as I can. I swear to you, if not that, something caused me to projectile vomit before I could make it to the sink, and I promise I felt as though that shit was not normal at all, let alone natural. It didn't originate from me, and there was not a damn thing I ingested, took, smoked. Nothing I was doing caused me to physically become ill, and I felt that shit. It came from somewhere beyond the roof of my house and caused the feeling inside my body. God is good, cause God didn't do that to me. Jesus Christ has been with me this year and has helped me and saved me when I felt like something in this universe was causing me to about to fucking die of a heart attack seemingly out of nowhere. Fuck. Typing all this shit is still difficult to me because I'm hearing shit in the background as I do, and I'm trying to be strong through this and admit the truth before anything really bad might. I pray and hope it doesn't happen. Trying to save us from disaster before it. Hopefully we live 49 plus more years like it was agreed on between souls like angels and God as my witness too. I felt and saw through my closed and open eyelids some kind of floating thing sitting on a flying machine with turrets on each side taking snapshots of my mind and body for some kind of, I'm assuming, proof for something out there. I've seen a fucking spaceship that if I didn't look closely enough I almost mistook for a star hovering quite high in the night sky pretty much above my house. I felt like the last life I lived I died in this house, and the biggest part of it was because of meth. Bro, I've cried tears falling on the page I was writing to Jesus Christ, a prayer practically begging my life be spared and getting to live longer. Holy, like, have you heard my voice in the sky before? I've been vibing seriously, trying to only vibe with real human beings only, becoming something aware something was also there, trying to take advantage of that and myself. Damn it, cuz I deserve $1 million after going through what I have, trying to help others as well as myself. I've saved this planet, quite many times, and even needed Jesus Christ to save us too, because there have been times I felt powerless, not knowing what to do while not fully aware of what was going on. I somehow created half of a universe, and without Jesus Christ it would have, I don't even want to say. It's a story, like, I never tried to do anything that would cause that to happen ever again and won't. I've watched my soul in the clouds fall into a soul jar. I thought that kind of thing was only in video games. Experiencing God's voice fading away, no longer becoming audible, scared the hell out of me so bad you have no idea. And I heard, oh my God, but I pray you never go through that kind of thing. It wasn't exactly easy to be able to break the fuck out of whatever the germ-looking, larger-than-galaxies-looking thing was that had us in its body. I heard voices, trapped too, before we were as a whole planet. Talk about being inside of it for a long time. Angels outside of it, I heard to talk of how it was actually really powerful. Cause I don't know how the fuck I did it. However, someday, not too long after, I managed to, in a way, shatter it and break us the fuck out of it, and thankfully never heard its voice again. I think I even somehow may have killed it in the process, and I pray none of us, not even my worst enemy on earth, ever goes through anything like that ever again. I burned one of the most important and proof books that I wrote that proved Yahweh's existence out of fear and in hopes that if I did that, all the crazy shit going on would stop happening. And not only did it not work, I ended up suffering soulfully, emotionally and physically. Hearing Yahweh especially pissed off, his words piercing through to my heart and it hurting in ways 10 years ago I would have guessed for a long time whether or not was even possible. I've apologized for that several times and am still sorry for it, because also I realized how important and precious that book, not only for Yahweh, however, for all the angels under God and humanity here on earth truly was. I almost burned the last bits of evidence of me ever writing anything about me being God Goldhue, which, by the way, I stepped down to just Goldhue, a human being, and the other things related to this universe and my involvement in it. I burned the Bible one night because Jesus Christ threatened to come and kill me, which I understood why a little later that night after I had done that, and I believe it was that night giving my all to Jesus Christ. I created something without realizing it that almost killed everything in this entire universe. It begging me to do something to not let it exist like that because it loved me and us, truly didn't want to hurt us. Holding its massive blade on its arm in front of its eyes while it talked to me about how if it saw me it might kill us, and it didn't want to exist as that kind of monster. Myself becoming somehow in between this normal physical life and some spiritual plane of existence, and ever since been trying my absolute best to stay in this reality where I'm physically a human being, doing what I can and have to at times to continue to have any normal left in my life, trying to get to a point where things were more normal, stable like they used to be. I've heard things call me God, expressing clearly that I am not God, learning quickly that I'm not a demigod either after questioning it, and life becoming and feeling weird, too weird for me, way too much for me to handle. I've experienced that spirits do indeed exist. I saw one that I believe she was once a living human being, and her blue spirit was so bright I could not see the stairs behind her that led up to my room, trying to help save me from the demon that I thought was just negative energy rotating as a symbol in my living room inches away in front of my face, unaware of how it was about to fuck with my mind so much that it was somewhat difficult actually to get rid of, from completely tearing up my mind, using my own brain's energy to create neurons and electrical pathways that if I let exist there for too long would cause brain damage, most likely, almost certainly, leading to a brain hemorrhage, quite possibly brain cancer, and maybe even a brain tumor. Learning how to fight without pretty much any violence at all, by creating cute, adorable images, imagining very colorful with the spectrum of every color, even cartoonish, and thankfully doing it with a style that let the demon know it was easy for me to win. I just really honestly didn't want to fight. It eventually accepted that I was too powerful and wouldn't give it the violence it wanted that helped it gain power. He finally left me alone. Thankfully, it only took about 15 minutes for it to leave. Longer, and I probably would have suffered greatly from its harmful, potential fatal overtime energy. Never will I ever invite anything like that ever again anywhere near me. In fact, not realizing I was accidentally inviting it into my home, furthermore causing me to want negative energy, especially demonic energy, demonic ones like that, either as far away from me as possible or even never existent in this universe ever again for that matter. Hoping, praying that's even possible and we still are able to live mortally as human beings, pretty much believing it and letting God handle that, trying to be unaware as much as humanly possible to it. Believe me, it's not worth it. Being taken advantage of by something I can hear at times, trusting it accidentally because it acted as if it had my best interest in mind. when it had a team of other shit ready to do something to me that I try to stay unaware of, saying no. As my immediate defense against it, thanking God for the power of no, often thankful that He blessed me with that actually working when I hear, sense, and feel it about to take advantage of me, and how kind and caring I tried to be. My niceness thrown out the window, as I at the same time feel foolish for believing that its kind words and lies filled with unknown amounts of suffering following behind them, having me question sometimes whether what I'm hearing is an angel or a demon or something I just have no clue what is. Its compliments appreciated, not wanting to hear it really, especially after last night, a friend admitting to me their own experiences and far too similar life experiences related very much to the lines of falling for the same deceitful words, having took advantage and abused them too in ways that I may have suffered too, had I not yesterday night hear him vocalize and sorrowfully explain his kind nature in ways causing him unfair treatment, even after many times myself praying if I heard any voices in the sky, they'd be angels and gods only, allowing two real human beings on this planet still alive and breathing, and even after it getting to the point where I couldn't take it anymore and just wished with honesty, felt strongly in my heart that their souls that took such advantage of my kindness would just not exist anymore, and even further ever again, no longer caring why they were allowed to be in the first place, still hearing them as I typed the last few messages I've just sent you, and I'm trying my best to ignore them, trying not to let them myself feed into it, controlling my deep and passionate hatred and powerful anger as well as aggression, taking so much more massive strength than I dare expose, and fear of uncovering any weakness that might cause me to again be played like a compassionate fool I've been. For how I've been taken advantage of so many times, I try every single day not to as well as let me become heartless anymore, not wanting to give up like so many brothers and sisters across the earth have, trying my absolute best to continue to follow the best, ironically simple advice God has ever given me. Just be good. The literal stench of greed, disgusting in actuality, uncertain if it was greed or possibly some other evil thing, quite possibly the energy of a sin, understanding how foul some things we were warned not to do, can really smell often, if not always very brief, as if a hint, a warning against certain behaviors being the reason anything actually awful like going to hell and smelling the foul odors for long periods of time, truly so torturous that I fear not behaving good enough in this life I might endure, as well as the extreme pain too tremendous for my imagination to handle. My legs might start to tremble because I know my human brain cannot physically, not mentally capable of handling that kind of agony. No longer do I joke so insensitively to others, nor bully practically at all, steering clear of any blasphemy, having already asked for forgiveness for my actions as a teenager, for truly I was innocent. I honestly did not know the severity of consequences, still don't by the way, for some of my actions, hoping my innocence is enough to save my soul and any potential future life as well as the life I live currently saved. My cousin, the closest thing to a physical looking twin that I know of living on this planet. I really need closure. Your knowledge could truly save myself and others serious trauma and suffering, possibly even our lives, too. Talk to me, please, when you get this. And I gave my phone number. Now is your time to go back and go over something that I said or a few things that I said and go to the comment section and leave your thoughts below, please.